virus which is affecting the bacterial cell. We know viruses are obligate parasites. They require specific host. They cannot multiply outside the host. They do not have their own metabolic activities. They survive on our metabolic activities. But the viruses can undergo mutation. They have genetic material as only DNA or RNA. ये सब अपने को 11th में किया था हम लोगों ने. Correct? Now that bacteria, that viruses, if attacking the plant cell, it is called as cytophagine. The genetic material for the plant cell is only RNA. And the example for that is your tobacco mosaic virus, which is rod shaped. Bacteria and viruses affecting the bacterial cell is called as bacteriophage. The genetic material over there is only DNA. And the example for that is T1 series. That is T2, T3, T4, T6, T8, so on and so forth. And these bacteria are tadpole shaped. You have the last type of virus which is affecting the animal cell, that is called as zoophagine. Now, it is on the which area it is affecting. Either it is affecting the skin, dermatotropic. Example is a measles, chickenpox, etc. It is affecting the visceral organs like liver. Then it is called as viscerotropic. Example is jaundice. If it is affecting your nervous system, then it is called as neurotropic. And the example is polio. We had done all this last year, and from that we want only now one particular thing, that is tadpole shape. That is this. And in animal viruses, either it may be having DNA or RNA, never both. Plant में specific था RNA, bacteria में specific है DNA, लेकिन animals में या RNA होगा या DNA होगा, differs. Correct? So here also the same thing it is there. This I'm taking bacteriophage. It is a virus which is affecting the bacteria cell. It is having the genetic material. Bacteriophage went in this bacterial cell. That is the E. coli, you can say. And that particular cell got converted into the viral DNA. And that's why they came to that conclusion that the genetic material over the particulars are nothing but DNA only. To prove this, there were two scientists, Hershey and Chase. There are two scientists named as Hershey and Chase. These two scientists, that is Hershey and Chase, used the isotopic form of this bacteria. Use the isotopic form of this DNA, in which they had used the isotopic form of phosphorus as well as sulfur. They used radioactive phages, wherein the phosphorus and sulfur was having the isotopic form. And that isotopic form in turn is nothing but P32 and S35. They had used as P32 and S35 as the isotopic form, by means of which whatever the next generation they got were of this type only. So they came to the conclusion that this is nothing but the bacteriophages only. Hershey and Chase. It is the same way it was done. Therein they had used this bacteriophage which is having this. Now how was this done? Let's see in short. I asked this particular thing in the examination, but let's see it. It is bacteriophage. It is bacteriophage. That is nothing but the virus which is affecting the bacterial cell. This bacteriophage, I am taking of two different types. I am taking types of bacteriophages, in which one the phosphorus is T2. And the other one which I am taking is in the content or the isotopic form of sulfur. That's S35. The isotopic form of sulfur as well as phosphorus. Now these two bacteriophages went and affect bacterial cell. This is nothing but a bacterial cell. Two different bacterial cells. This bacterial cell is having the genetic material over here, which is suspended in the cytoplasm. So this is attached to the bacteriophage. This bacteriophage is S35 and this bacteriophage is having phosphorus 32. When it is entering inside, only the genetic material enters. The outer part, that is a protein coat, is called as ghost, it is go away. Only the genetic material make its entry. The remaining protein coat will go away. Now here is the bacterial cell, the same way. Here is its genetic material of the bacterial cell. And along with it, the genetic material of the bacteriophage. The same way we have the other one. Here is the bacterial cell. Here is the genetic material of the bacterial cell. And here is the genetic material of the bacteriophage. Both these genetic materials will now merge together and they will be forming new phages within the bacterial cell only. They will be forming the new phages. These new phages in turn now here it is pink and red. So here it is pink and here it is red. The same way here it is red and pencil. Now these phages will move out. These phages will move out. Once they are done, they have assembled and all that, these phages will start moving out from the bacterial cell. And these phages are having the genetic material as DNA of bacterial cell as well as of phages. The same way over here. The phages are moving out of the bacterial cell. They will be having the DNA of the phage as well as the bacterial cell. From this, they came to the conclusion that the DNA, which is the genetic material, is none other than DNA because it got transformed. And they detected it that on this centrifugation, you'll do that centrifugation in that chemistry lab, correct or no? Chemicals ka. You get at the base, you get the residue. On the top, you get the supernatant. The same thing when we did this experiment, we started centrifuging it. We rotated it at a particular level. On rotation, we detected it that the phosphorus was detected in the cells, but no phosphorus was detected in the supernatant, that is in that particular upper solution. Down the cells were there, bacteriophages cells were there, the cytoplasm was there, granules were there, protein content of bacterial cell was there. In that, the phosphate was there, but it was not there in the supernatant. The same way, the sulfur was there in the base, in the residue, but not in the supernatant. From there, they came to the conclusion that the bacteriophages, the genetic material is none other than DNA. Because whether they are using isotopic form of phosphorus or they're using isotopic form of sulfur, they detected it that this particular thing is over there. So from that they come to the conclusion that the genetic material is DNA. And that was observed by Lederberg and Ginterman, as well as it was observed by Hershey and Chase confirmed it. Now, same thing, we have done one more thing last year, that was structure of DNA. We'll just brush it up because we don't have this year in the syllabus, correct? This year syllabus में DNA का structure नहीं है, but we will be needing it for protein synthesis, hence I'm brushing it up. Structure of DNA. We know that this structure of DNA was put forward by Watson and Crick. In the year 1953. 3. Correct? Then it is a polynucleotide chain. Being a polynucleotide chain, it is genetic material also. It is genetic material of eukaryotes. Moreover, it is present in the nucleus of eukaryotes. Agreed? Now, we said it is a polynucleotide chain. Poly means many. Nucleotide means phosphate plus nucleoside. What is the nucleoside? Nucleoside means sugar plus nitrogen base. Sugar over here, please be careful, is C5H10O4. Very important to be remembered. Whereas nitrogen bases are purines or pyrimidines. Next, purines are double ring compounds. Whereas pyrimidines are single ring compounds. Purines are said to be dicyclic, whereas pyrimidines are said to be monocyclic. Now, since we are doing the structure of DNA, the types of purines are adenine, guanine, whereas the types of pyrimidines are cytosine, thymine. Therefore, each nucleotide is now composed of a phosphate, a sugar, and any one of these nitrogen bases. Correct? So accordingly, you and I, or any of the organism, the entire living world rather, is made up of these 4 nitrogen bases. They are adenine nucleotide, guanine nucleotide, cytosine nucleotide, and thymine nucleotide, on the basis of which the entire world is surviving. Correct? These 4 basic nucleotides. How they are mixed matched? Because they are mixed matched in such a way that no 2 individuals are identical. In this particular case, because there are only 4 nucleotides, we are going to see the further things. So we have said that it is a polynucleotide chain. Each nucleotide is made up of phosphate and nucleoside. Sugar and nitrogen. Nucleoside is composed of sugar and nitrogen base. Nitrogen bases are purines, pyrimidines. Purines are double ring compound, that is dicyclic. Pyrimidines are single ring compound. Types of purines are adenine and guanine. Types of pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine. Accordingly, we have 4 nucleotides. Agreed. Now we go further. It is double stranded. It is double stranded. Each strand is made up of alternate molecules of sugar and phosphate. The 2 strands are connected to each other by means of weak hydrogen bonds. Adenine pairs up with thymine or vice versa. Thymine pairs up with adenine by means of 2 weak hydrogen bonds. Same way, guanine pairs up with cytosine or cytosine pairs up with guanine by 3 weak hydrogen bonds. And this base pairing is standard. I cannot change it. Any Wikipedia you open, any encyclopedia you open, any website you open, anything you open for DNA structure, these will not be changing because they are universal. They are standard. throughout. Because these are standard, if I know the nitrogen basis of one strand, I can definitely identify the nitrogen basis of the other strand. So the two strands are said to be complementary to each other. The two strands are said to be complementary to each other. And the two strands are running anti-parallel to each other. Anti-parallel to each other. Now we have to see a small diagram for this. Let's see. This I am putting it as the sugar molecule. 1 second. This I am taking it as a sugar molecule. We are going to number this sugar molecule. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth is extended over here. And it is having a group called as phosphate over there. The same way at all the ends I will be putting it. So all the ends is having the same way phosphate. I have to show another strand also. I have to show the other strand also. These I am writing is nothing but the base pairs. The other strand will be totally ulta of the earlier one. The ribose sugar. 0. This position is 0 carbon compound. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one will be the fifth one, wherein the phosphate is attached. The same way we'll draw for the others. This is nothing but phosphate being attached. And this is nothing but sugar. Now, pay attention. From top we will see once and then go further. It is a polynucleotide chain. Each nucleotide is made up of phosphate, sugar, and one of the nitrogen bases. Just check over here. Phosphate, sugar, nitrogen base. Phosphate, sugar, nitrogen base. So it is first nucleotide, second nucleotide, third nucleotide, so on and so forth. So it is a polynucleotide chain. That point is confirmed. Next one, it is double-stranded. Each strand is made up of alternate molecules of sugar and phosphate. This strand, just see phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar. Here you see sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate. So there are the two strands. These are the two strands. It is made up of alternate molecules of phosphate and sugar. Now these nucleotides are linked. They have to be joined. They will be joined by means of this particular bond. All the bonds I label it now. Correct? Adenine pairing with thymine or thymine with adenine, cytosine with guanine or guanine with cytosine. Now, simple way I can tell. If I know the nitrogen basis of one strand, if I'm knowing the nitrogen basis of one strand, don't you think that we will be able to identify the nitrogen basis of the strand? Because of the standard base pairing. मेरे को दूसरे स्ट्रैंड का नहीं पता है, लेकिन मेरे पास एक स्ट्रैंड का है टी सी जी, तो डेफिनेटली दूसरे वाले का रहेगा ए, सॉरी टी ए जी सी है. So because of this particular, if we know the nitrogen base of one strand, we can identify the other one. So the two strands are complementary to each other. Now one strand is going in upper direction, ascending order, and is coming in descending order, correct? Downwards. Like how you have two trains, one going from Virat to Churchgate, other from Churchgate to Virat. They're going in opposite direction. They're running parallel to each other, but in opposite direction. So we call them, they are running anti-parallel. The same over here, they are running, the two strands are running. Now, how do I come to know that they are running anti-parallel? Just see over here, the fifth position is here, so I call this end as 5'N. Here I have the third carbon position, so I call this end as 3'N. Here I have the third carbon position, just check it. This is 0 position, 1, 2, 3. So this is 3'N. This is 0 position, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the fifth position. So this is 5'N. I said 2 trays, Churchgate to Virar, Churchgate to Virar. And the other one is Virar to Churchgate. Correct? So they are running in opposite direction. Hence the two strands are said to be running and parallel to each other. Now, very important part which is needed for your NEET from here is the bonds or the names of the bonds. I have put this blue color over here between the phosphorus and the sugar content. Blue bond is nothing but phosphodiester bond. This is nothing but phosphodiester bond. The sugar is associated with the nitrogen base. Sugar is associated with the nitrogen base. So the bond over here is glycosidic bond. The bond over here is glycosidic bond. Next, the two nitrogen bases are associated with each other. So we have the bond called hydrogen bonds. You have to be very careful. State the type of bonds present in DNA. In DNA, we have 3 types of bonds. Phosphodiester, which is connecting the nitrogen base with the sugar content, with deoxyribose sugar. And we have hydrogen bond, which is connecting the 2 nitrogen base space, or which is connecting the 2 nitrogen bases, you can say rather. Correct? There are 3 basic bonds in DNA molecule. They are phosphodiester bond, glycosidic bond, as well as this hydrogen bond. The nitrogen base is always attached to the molecule at its first carbon position. A point to be remembered, very important. Nitrogen base is always attached to the first carbon position. Here पे देखो 0, 1 पे attached है. Just check it out. Here I mentioned it as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 पे nitrogen base is there. Here I have done it ulta way. 0, 1, 2, again. Nitrogen base always third carbon position. Bolo, am I right? What it should be? What position is it? Third? First carbon position, correct. It should be always attached to the first carbon position, correct? Now let's go further. This structure we have seen it. We have done it last year. I don't have to drill into you all. I had already given you all some dimensions. If you can recollect, I'll just brush it up those also. Dimensions of the DNA molecule. If you can recollect, we have taken one student ka belt, waist belt leke, on a ruler I have wrapped it and I showed it to you all how it is, double helical structure. याद आ रहा है धुंधला सा? Dimensions of DNA. It is a double helical structure. The length of each helix, this is again very important part. Huh? Pay attention over here. Length of each helix is 34 Armstrong unit. Length of each helix is 34 Armstrong unit. Each helix bears 10 nitrogen base pairs or 20 nitrogen bases or 10 nucleotide pairs or 20 nucleotides. Am I right or wrong? मैंने नंबर्स अलग अलग लिखा है लेकिन ये सही है या गलत है? एक हेलिक्स में मेरे पास 10 नाइट्रोजन बेस पेयर्स है, इसके जगह पे मैं 10 नाइट्रोजन बेसिस भी बोल सकती हूँ, मैं 20 न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स भी बोल सकती हूँ, या 10 न्यूक्लियोटाइड पेयर भी बोल सकती हूँ. All are one and the same. Simple way. Supposing this is one helix, this is having 10 nitrogen bases in pairs. So these are 10 nitrogen base pairs. But I can say there are 20 nitrogen bases. Correct? I can say that there are 20 nucleotide pairs. This is one nucleotide, this is second nucleotide, this is one nucleotide, this is second nucleotide. So there are 10 nucleotide pairs, or there are 20 nucleotides individually of counting them. Yes or no, my dear friends, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there could be, the numbers may change. They will confuse you. So aware about it. What do I mean by pairs and what do I mean by only nitrogen bases? Pair means हमेशा जोड़ी में रहेगा और अलग रखा तो उसका डबल आना चाहिए. Correct? जोड़ी में वो सिंगल रहेगा. 10 है तो वो 20 हो गया. Nothing else. But the standard is it is having 10 nitrogen base pairs. But to confuse you all, they will do it. Next, the distance between two nitrogen base pairs is 34 divided by 10. Because the length तो ये उसका length है, ये 30 था, लेकिन ये 34 में nitrogen base, I will get the distance between nitrogen base pairs as 3.4 unit. यानी कि जो distance, यानी कि ये distance और ये दोनों के बीच का जो distance है, that is 3.4. Then this is 3.4. Then again 3.4. Agreed? So this is what I mean to say. The distance to nitrogen base pairs is 3.4 amps. The thickness, the girth or the diameter, all are the same, of DNA is 20 angstrom. How it is 20? Because adenine is double ring compound. Thymine is single compound. Again, adenine is double compound. Thymine is single ring compound. Cytosine is compound. Guanine is ring compound. Same way, cytosine is compound. Guanine is double ring compound. क्योंकि ये हमेशा भले है उल्टा पुल्टा जा रहा है, लेकिन always a single is combining with a double or a double is combining with single. So the thickness of this DNA molecule is standard, and that thickness of the girth of the diameter of the DNA molecule is nothing but 20 angstrom unit. उसको कितना भी कुछ भी करने दो, कभी भी ऐसा नहीं आएगा आपको adenine pairs up with guanine, आप कभी भी thymine pairs up with cytosine नहीं आएगा, because they both are single ring compounds. Cytosine, thymine are single ring compound. ये लोग का pairing है, ये लोग का pairing नहीं होता है. एक ये रहेगा तो एक ये रहेगा, और ये भी चेंज नहीं हो सकता है. एडेनिन थाइमिन स्टैंडर्ड है, ग्वाइनिन एंड साइटोसिन स्टैंडर्ड. ऐसा नहीं होगा एडेनिन विद साइटोसिन, वो कभी नहीं हो सकता है, वो पेयर होएगा नहीं, बिकॉज़ दीस आर द स्टैंडर्ड पेयरिंग. वो फिट होता है उसमें. प्लग पॉइंट रहता है ना आपका, प्लग पॉइंट में आपको 3 पिन सॉकेट है या 2 पिन सॉकेट है, तो उसके हिसाब से आपको प्लग रहता है या 2 पिन प्लग, वही फिट होएगा ना. द सेम वे योर आल्सो इट इज फिटिंग इनसाइड इट, बिकॉज़ वन पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर, if adenine is this way, if adenine is this way, then thymine will be this way. Next, if guanine is this way, then cytosine is this way. So that it can fit inside. Triangular है, इधर triangular इधर circle में कहाँ fit होएगा? It is not going to fit. That is the reason why only A is pairing with T and C is pairing with G. वो standard. Last point over here pertaining to this, the girth, sorry. Complete circle, it is taking 360 degrees. So the pitch, the gira of the DNA molecule is 360 degrees. मगर वो pitch या helical structure itself is having a base pairs as 10. वो एक सर्कल कंप्लीट करने के लिए उसमें बेस पेयर्स 10 है, करेक्ट हो नो? One helix is of 10 base pairs ना, 34 angstrom unit. So the angle between two nitrogen base pairs, ये हम लोग ने लेंथ बोला है, ये डिस्टेंस बोला है. अभी मैं बोलती हूँ एंगल, एंगल between two nitrogen base pairs is 360 divided by 10, that is 36 degrees. वो triangle बनता है. If at all you'll come across any particular ladder which is spherical or spirally coiled, then you will come to know that there is a triangle formation. That triangle formation is showing the angle of 36 degrees. Now, these were the questions which I had asked last time. I do remember it. If a DNA molecule has 28 guanine, 28% of guanine, state the percentage of thymine. If a DNA molecule is having 28% guanine, state the percentage of thymine. Yes, any answer coming? No answer? All sleeping? Very good. Good night. What? भूल गए क्या लास्ट का सर? Excuse me. Is everyone or just I am teaching the walls of what over here? Or sir is just doing the recording?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Hello. Nobody is answering. How much is the percentage here?
Ma'am, I can't hear you properly. I'm sorry. Just a second.
All sleeping beauties. All are sleeping. Nobody is answering. If a DNA molecule has 28% of guanine, dear friends, we have done it. Students, where y'all? Sheikh is saying 28%. Will you be able to explain me a little bit? How did you come to the conclusion 28? I am asking thymine, my dear. I have not asked cytosine. मैं cytosine बोलती तो उतना ही percentage रहता था. 28% guanine है तो cytosine भी 28 because G and C are pairing with each other. So it cannot be 20. Last year we have done it. We said there are 50% of purines and there are 50% of pyrimidines, correct, in a DNA molecule. I have said one purine I have given. Guanine is a purine. Purine is 28. Correct? तो ये 50 में से 20 तो कितना बचता है? 22. So another purine will be 22. तो उसका pyrimidine will be 22 accordingly. And here it will be 28. Yes or no? We have 50% of purines. We have 50% of pyrimidines. The ratio between, correct here. The ratio between purine and pyrimidine is always 1:1 over here. अगर जो 50% purines है, 50% pyrimidines है, वो 50% का मैंने बोला 28% is guanine. तो ये मैंने लिखा है guanine. तो 50 में से 28 गया तो मेरे पास बचता है 22. So 22 is nothing but it is adenine. अगर जो adenine is 22%, so is thymine 22%. Then cyto again 28%. So I had asked over here, if a DNA molecule is a 28% of guanine, state the percentage of thymine. So the percentage of thymine will be the percentage to answer. One more question of this type. A DNA molecule has 18% of guanine it shows 32% of adenine. State the percentage of cytosine.
18.
18, correct. My dear, this was just to confuse you all with all the different figures. If guanine is 18, cytosine will be 18. If I would have asked over here thymine, instead of cytosine, मैंने thymine पूछा होता, so that would be 32%.
32.
Got the idea now? No problem at all? Surely. Now this, they can mix match anything. Huh? You have to just see one particular percentage, minus it from 50. Whatever the percentage you get, accordingly you plan it. But हमेशा वैसा मत करना. Sometimes they can directly confuse you. Thymine is so percentage, adenine is so percentage, guanine is so percentage. Take the percentage of cytosine. पूरा पूरा दे दे के कंफ्यूज करनी. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे 2 दिया, आपको फाइंड आउट करने वाला तीसरा वाला. It was easier. बट मैं आपको 3 देती हूँ, चौथा वाला फाइंड आउट करने के लिए बोलती तो और भी कंफ्यूजन है. तो you should not get confused over there. You have to just remember one thing, क्या पूछा है एंड में, तो उसका पेयरिंग आप ऊपर देखो. या तो जो भी आपने पहला देखा उस 50 में से माइनस करो, उसके बाद में देखो. मगर 50 में से माइनस नहीं करना है. Sometimes it could be the same one. I can change this question. If a DNA molecule is having 28% guanine, state the percentage of cytosine. तो इधर माइनस करोगे तो मार खा जाएंगे हम, बिकॉज मैंने इधर क्या पूछा है, साइटोसिन. If guanine is 28, cytosine has to be 28. Correct or no? Do you all agree? My dear, first question is talking about, if DNA molecule is 28% guanine, state the percentage of cytosine. State the percentage of cytosine. And in that particular 28 only. Correct or no? Sanket sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sanket sir, there is some problem. They are saying that voice is breaking or something. From my side, nothing is there that way. Just check it now.
Sorry, ma'am. What?
Okay. There's the voice is breaking. I don't know anything, but just check it over there if at all your side it is something.
Yeah, ma'am. You carry on. I'll just give me a minute. I'll try to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is fine now, dear friends. Everything is very clear. Can I proceed further?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are proceeding to unit fully. Correct? And that unit is nothing but replication of DNA. Because I'll be needing to write it, that's why I'm using another page only. Replication of DNA. Correct? The replication of DNA, it takes place in the nucleoplasm, because the DNA is present in the nucleus, so it takes place in the nucleoplasm. Correct? The 2 strands of DNA get separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds, and they uncoil. Correct? Now with now I'm switching on to the diagram. This is your DNA molecule. Correct? Can you make out now? This is our DNA strand. The DNA molecule got separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds. Now here, supposing the nitrogen bases were as A, G, C, T, T, whatever it is. Here I got T, C, G, A, so on and so forth. Because ये pairing है ना, standard. I cannot change it. So the two strands got separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds. Correct? And they got uncoiled. And this has taken place within the nucleoplasm. क्योंकि ये अपना न्यूक्लियस है, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर अपने पास डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल है. करेक्ट? न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन, न्यूक्लियोलस, न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म एंड द डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल. तो ये सब हुआ है वो न्यूक्लियस का साइटोप्लाज्म के अंदर हुआ है. So we called it as it is taking place in the nucleoplasm. The two strands got separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds and they unwinded or uncoiled themselves. Correct? They got separated. Within the nucleoplasm, there was an enzyme named as DNA polymerase. This enzyme is synthesizing a strand complementary to the DNA strand. Now, how is it synthesizing? Let's see here. These two strands, thicker one are nothing but the parental strands. This end, I am calling it as replicating fork end. It can be termed as RFE, replicating fork end. What is happening is a DNA strand is synthesized by DNA polymerase. It is going towards a replicating fork end. ये देखो अंदर जा रहा है. Towards a replicating fork end. And it is synthesized in a continuous manner. It is going in the direction of 5' to 3'. That is your carbon position if you can recollect. This strand which is synthesized in a continuous manner, it is called as lagging strand. Sorry, it is called as leading strand. It is called as leading strand. Its parental strand is called as leading template. Its parental strand is called as leading template. The same enzyme DNA polymerase is synthesizing another strand which is going away from the replicating fork end. Just see here. In the same direction, 5' to 3', but it is synthesized in the form of small fragments. Can you make out? These small fragments ka name is there, called as Okazaki fragments. These fragments are connected to each other by means of, ये आया एक एंजाइम का नाम आएगा उधर इधर. One second. वो merge हो जाएगा colors. ये एंजाइम से connected है. The name of this enzyme is DNA ligase. And this strand is now called as lagging strand. इसका parental strand is called as lagging template. Agreed? Once again, the same enzyme DNA polymerase is synthesizing another strand which is going away from the replicating fork end. This strand which is going away from the replicating fork end is called as a lagging strand. And its parental strand is called as lagging template. This strand is synthesized in a discontinuous manner. Being synthesized in a discontinuous manner, the strand is made continuous with the help of the enzyme DNA ligase. Now, in simple terms, you and I are giving exams together. I may score 100 on 100 in biology because I'm leading over there. But I'm lagging in maths. I'm lagging in physics. I'm lagging in chemistry. Maybe from my school life, I was lagging in maths. तो मेरे को ट्यूशन दिया, प्राइवेट ट्यूशन रखा, क्लासेस ज्वाइन करवाया, एक्स्ट्रा कोचिंग दिया, कुछ ना कुछ धक्का मार मार के, कभी टीचर ने मेरे को ग्रेस मार्क्स दिया, ऐसे करके मैं 5th से 6th में गई, 6th से 7th में गई, ऐसा धक्का मार मार के मैं आगे बढ़ी. Means I was lagging over there, but biologically I am always leading. The same is the case over here. The strand which is continuous is called as a leading strand. Uska parental strand is called as leading template. The other one which is synthesized in the form of small fragments and it is made continuous is called as lagging strand. Its parental strand is called as lagging template. अभी मेरा इधर ये न्यू स्ट्रैंड का 5 डैश है, इसका इधर 3 डैश है कंटिन्यूअस वाले का, ये डिसकंटिन्यूअस वाले का 5 डैश है, ये 3 डैश है. अगर जो ये 3 डैश है तो ये मेरा 5 डैश होगा पेरेंटल का, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है ना, ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में रन करता है. अगर जो ये न्यू का 5 डैश है तो ये पेरेंटल का 3 डैश होगा. करेक्ट. I have to label the ends on the top also then. Here I have 3 dash. I will label this as 5 dash and I label this as 3 dash. Done. हो गया. 5 dash 3 dash 5 dash 3 dash 5 dash 3 dash 5 dash 3 dash. मेरा लेबलिंग बराबर है. अभी ये मेरे को बोर्ड्स में आया था. Sketch and label replication of eukaryotic DNA. Please pay attention here now. Sketch and label the replication of eukaryotic DNA. Only 2 marks के लिए. I come home, I check. I have written leading strand, I have leading template, I have written replicating fork end, I have written Okazaki fragments, lagging strand, lagging template, DNA ligase. मैंने सब लिखा है, ends लिखा है, सब लिखा है, सब किया है. So I feel I should be getting full 2 on 2. अपन खुद घर पे आके चेक करते हैं ना, काउंटर चेक. हम लोग ने सही लिखा है या गलत लिखा है, तो मैंने चेक किया. I thought that I'll be getting 2 on 2. When I received the paper, I got 0. What could be the reason? Can anyone suggest? The diagram is right in front of you all. Can anyone suggest what could be the reason? Nobody? Nobody could suggest it? Diagram is right in front of you all, my dear. Because once you all say this, then I'll proceed further with the explanation. 5 dash and 3 dash. Which end? Top. जंबल हो गया था. वेरी गुड. क्यों जंबल हुआ? क्योंकि मैंने डायग्राम पेंसिल से ड्रॉ किया था और टीचर ने क्या किया था? टीचर ने लाल पेन उठाया और घुमाया. जस्ट सी एवरीवन पे अटेंशन ऑन द स्क्रीन नाउ. सी, टीचर ने लाल पेन उठा के घुमाया. कैन यू मेक आउट? दिस इज वन स्ट्रैंड, parental strand, that is 3 dash 3 dash. Got it? So a big 0 came to me. What should be the answer over here? The answer should be reverse way. It should be 5 dash over here. It should be 3 dash over here. Then it is perfect, my dear friend. Mohammed sir? Correct?
मैम नहीं समझा, मतलब ऐसा क्यों 3 डैश 5 डैश?
My dear, listen. पहले मैंने लेबल क्या किया था? देखो, एक मिनट यहाँ पे देखो, ध्यान दो. ये मेरा स्ट्रैंड्स है, क्योंकि मैं पेंसिल से बना रही हूँ. चांसेस आर देयर दैट मैं जंबल इट अप. ये मेरा कंटिन्यूअस स्ट्रैंड है, ये मेरा डिसकंटिन्यूअस स्ट्रैंड है. करेक्ट. ये 5 डैश रहेगा, ये 3 डैश रहेगा. तो इसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री यहाँ पे 3 डैश रहेगा. ये 5 डैश है, ये 3 डैश है. इसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री यहाँ पे 5 डैश रहेगा. ये तो अपने को डीएनए स्ट्रक्चर से पता है ना, 5 डैश एंड 3 डैश यहाँ से. करेक्ट हो नो? हाँ, वो कार्बन पोजीशन का है. अगर जो ये 3 डैश है तो मेरे को ऊपर वाला एंड का भी लेबल करने का ना अकॉर्डिंगली. ऊपर वाले एंड्स का मेरे को लेबल डालने का है. तो दिस इज 3 डैश, आई राइट दिस एज 5 डैश, आई राइट दिस एज 3 डैश. क्योंकि इट इज विद पेंसिल, तो आई एज्यूम दैट ये 3 डैश है तो ये 5 डैश होएगा, ये 5 डैश है तो ये 3 डैश होएगा. एग्रीड? बिकॉज वैसे ही है ना इधर भी. तो इधर इट इज 5 dash, इधर इट इज 3 dash, here it is 3 dash, then here it is 5 dash. Correct or no? So I put it that way. But when the teacher is checking it, she came across, what she did was she just took a red pen and she moved it. इसके ऊपर देखो, ध्यान दो अभी. Can you make out? ध्यान दिया आपने? ये जो स्ट्रैंड है, ये स्ट्रैंड में दोनों एंड पे 3 डैश है. करेक्ट हो नो?
यस मैम.
तो सेम वे ये स्ट्रैंड आप दूसरा वाला देखोगे तो उसका दोनों एंड पे 5 डैश है.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely my diagram is wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
You understood? और ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है my dear. When I was a student, my teacher used to tell me, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे लीडिंग बनाने का है, राइट हैंड साइड पे लैगिंग बनाने का है. ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है. ये मैं उल्टा भी कर सकती हूँ, मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ये मैं उल्टा करके दिखाती हूँ अभी आपको. मैं एंड्स निकाल देती हूँ एंड यू हैव टू टेल मी नाउ. अभी तो ये थिक एंड थिन है तो समझ में आ जाएगा इमीडिएटली आपको. अभी ये देखो, मैंने नीचे वाले में लीडिंग स्ट्रैंड लेफ्ट में बनाया, अभी मैं लीडिंग स्ट्रैंड राइट में बनाती हूँ. जस्ट सी, बराबर है. इट इज 5 डैश 3 डैश. द सेम वे दिस विल बी 3 डैश. इसका पैरेंटल स्ट्रैंड 5 डैश, क्योंकि अभी थिक एंड थिन है तो पता चल जाएगा ना इमीडिएटली. अभी गड़बड़ होने का चांस ही नहीं है. अभी दूसरा वाला स्ट्रैंड इज कमिंग दिस वे. इट इज 5 डैश 3 डैश. So this will be 5 dash and this will be 3 dash. तो अभी क्या हुआ ये देखो, इसके कंपेयर में करो दोनों का. इसमें lagging strand was on the right hand side, the other lagging strand is on the left hand side. Correct? Here the leading strand is on the left side, here the leading strand is on the right hand side. You keep it on the left, you keep it on the right. I am least bothered, my dear. As far as your ends are correct, nobody can challenge you. For that reason, even if you are sleeping during the examination time, because examination time पे आपको 10 disturbances आता है. वो हॉल टिकट चेक करने को, उसके ऊपर सिग्नेचर करने के लिए, आपका आंसर शीट को सिग्नेचर करने के लिए आपको बारकोड स्टिकर देंगे, होलोग्राफ स्टिकर देंगे, सब झमेला होता है. For that reason, there are chances I may commit a mistake. I'm not saying you. I say I may commit a mistake. To avoid that, the best possibility is just draw it this way. Just see what am I doing now. Got it? Either side you do it. I am least bothered. ऐसा डायग्राम में आप कभी गलती नहीं करोगे. 10 बार वो लोग को मिस्टेक करने दो, डिस्टर्ब करने दो आके आपको. This is 5, this is 3, this is 5, this is 3, this is 5, this is 3, this is 5, this is 3. Agreed? My dear friends, are you all agreeing? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all understood how the mistake occurs? Basically,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
mistake occurs because we are drawing with only one single pencil. We are not using color pens. Color pens होता तो फटाफट अपने को आना पड़ जाए. सर ये thick and thin है तो पता चल गया. आपको चाहिए तो आप thick and thin कर सकते हो, no problem. उधर आपको कोई रोकेगा नहीं, तो मिस्टेक नहीं होएगा. अगर जो वो भी नहीं अवॉइड करने का है, then you can always draw it this way, Y shape. Nobody is going to cut your marks, my dear. It is a valid diagram. Nobody is going to cut your marks. ऐसे वाले डायग्राम में चांसेस है मिस्टेक होने का, मगर ऐसे वाले डायग्राम में चांसेस बिल्कुल नहीं है मिस्टेक होने का. Agreed? So now I have to continue the writing part. I'll remove this diagram because this was for explanation, correct? I'm removing that diagram. I can write down the explanation further. So till now what we have done was the replication of the DNA molecule is taking place within the nucleoplasm. The two strands of the DNA molecule get separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds. Yes or no? Next, within the nucleoplasm, there is an enzyme named as DNA polymerase. It is synthesizing a strand complementary to the DNA. ये हम लोग ने देखा था. It synthesizes. Now pay attention over here. It synthesizes a strand in a continuous manner towards the replicating fork end. This strand is called as leading strand. Its parental strand is called as leading template. Correct? Its parental strand is called as leading template. Now here the word was, it was synthesized in a continuous manner Correct? This leading strand which is going towards the replicating fork end is synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. Correct? The same enzyme which was that enzyme? DNA polymerase. Synthesizes another strand which is going away from replicating fork end. This strand is synthesized in a discontinuous manner from 5' to 3'. Discontinuous manner from 5' to 3' in the form of small fragments called Okazaki fragments. These fragments are connected or joined by DNA ligase. That is another enzyme. And the discontinuous strand is made as continuous. This strand is called as lagging strand. Its parental strand is called as lagging template. Correct? Now, very important part. Please come to this diagram once again. So from one DNA molecule, we are saying we have got two DNA molecules. Each of this daughter DNA molecule is having one parental strand, one newly synthesized, one parental strand, and one newly synthesized. That means 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. That shows 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. So the process of replication is said to be semi-conservative. Thus, from one DNA molecule, we get two daughter DNA molecules. Each one, करती हूँ, each one has one parental strand and one newly synthesized. So the process of replication is said to be semi-conservative. Semi-conservative. That is 50% carried forward in the next generation. Once again, the last statement. Thus, from one DNA molecule, we have got two daughter DNA molecules. Each of the daughter DNA molecule is having one parental strand and one newly synthesized. Hence, the process of replication is called as semi-conservative. Why? Because 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. अभी ये point अपने को clarify करना है. They can ask us, DNA replication is said to be semi-conservative. Justify or give reason. One DNA molecule, separation वगैरह सब हो गया, replication हो गया. You are getting two daughter DNA molecules. हर एक daughter DNA molecule में देखो एक parental strand है, template. एक नया strand बना हुआ है. एक नया strand है, एक parental है. यानी कि उसके जो आधे कैरेक्टर्स हैं वो रिपीट हुआ है 50%. 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. Hence, this process of replication is called as semi-conservative replication. Hence, this process of replication is called as semi-conservative. Is it clear, Mohammed sir? एक डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल से अपने को दो डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल मिला है. हर एक डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल में एक पेरेंटल स्ट्रैंड है, एक नया वाला है. क्योंकि एक पेरेंटल है यानी कि 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. Of 50% of the characters are conserved or preserved. Therefore, we call that process of replication as semi-conservative. We call it as semi-conservative. Okay. Now, all of you all, just look at the diagram first. Register the diagram into your mindset with all the labels. Double-stranded DNA molecule, separating, replicating fork end, parental strands, newly synthesized strands, 5' to 3'1 towards the replicating fork end is continuous. Called as leading strand, its parental leading template. Another one is discontinuous, coming away from the replicating fork end. Called as lagging strand, its parental called as lagging template. It is synthesized in the form of small fragments called as Okazaki fragments. The Okazaki fragments are connected to each other by means of an enzyme. DNA ligase, that is a discontinuous strand, is made continuous. Correct? So we see that from one DNA molecule, we have got two daughter DNA molecules, each having one parental and one newly synthesized. That means 50% of the characters are conserved. So we call this process of replication as semi-conservative. Now I am going to read this entirely once again. The description, what we have done it. Replication of DNA molecule. It can come for 4 marks. It takes place in the nucleoplasm. Correct? The two strands of the DNA molecule get separated by the breakdown of weak hydrogen bonds. Within the nucleoplasm, there is an enzyme named as DNA polymerase. This enzyme is synthesizing a strand complementary to the DNA strand. It synthesizes a strand in a continuous manner towards the replicating fork end. This strand, which is continuous, is called as a leading strand, and its parental strand is called as a leading template. The leading strand is going towards the replicating fork end, is synthesized in the direction of 5' to 3'. अगर जो ये आपको separate statement नहीं चाहिए, तो आप इधर लिख सकते हैं how, just see. It synthesizes a strand in a continuous manner towards the replicating fork end from 5' to 3' direction, and it is called as leading strand. Its parental strand is called as leading template. You understood? It's just a words how you frame it, how you phrase it. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है जैसे टेक्स्ट बुक में वैसे लिखना है, जैसे मैंने लिखा वैसे लिखना है. आपको समझा है वैसे लिखने का है, और सामने वाले को समझना चाहिए सही समझा है आपको, ऐसा करके. Agreed? Then the next one, the same enzyme DNA polymerase is synthesizing another strand which is going away from the replicating fork end. This strand is synthesized in a discontinuous manner from 5' to 3' direction only in the form of small fragments called as Okazaki fragments. These fragments are connected to each other or joined by means of DNA ligase enzyme, and the discontinuous strand is made continuous. This strand is now called as lagging strand. Its parental strand is called as lagging template. Thus, it is observed that from one DNA molecule, we are getting two daughter DNA molecules. Each of the daughter DNA molecule is having one parental strand and one newly synthesized. Hence, 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. So we call the process of replication as semi-conservative. Very clear to everyone? No problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we proceed further?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Another one was, there are two scientists named as Maselson and Stahl. These two scientists wanted to see or wanted to confirm, or they proved the replication is semi-conservative. What did they do was, for this to prove that it is semi-conservative, they used nitrogen. I think your normal nitrogen is what? N14, correct or no? नाइट्रोजन का N14 है ना, जैसे कार्बन का 12 है, ऑक्सीजन का 16 है, नाइट्रोजन का 14 है ना, नॉर्मल वन. Its radioisotope. Nobody is answering chemistry part. N15. Nobody is answering the chemistry part. N14 है क्या N15 है? क्या है? N14 है ना नॉर्मल. My dear chemistry
Yes,
students.
ma'am.
हाँ, तो उस लोग ने आइसोटोपिक फॉर्म लिया N15, and they kept the DNA molecule in the culture media which was bearing nitrogen N15 isotopic form. They kept it in the culture media bearing nitrogen N15, and they wanted to see what is happening. When they kept it over there, what they saw, just see now. N14 I am taking as pink color. N15 I will be taking as green color. Agreed? Let's see what is the thing happening over here. I have normal DNA molecule that is bearing N14, correct? ये मेरा normal DNA molecule है which is bearing N14. This is N14 वाला. This N14 DNA molecule, I am keeping it in the culture media of N15. When it has to collect the nitrogen content, what will happen? We get the replication as one strand of 14 and we get another strand of 15. ये वापस उसने किया वैसे ही, लेकिन अब की बार इसने यही लिया, इसका रेप्लिकेशन किया. जब इसका रेप्लिकेशन किया तो इसको इधर नया वाला मिला, yet further if you go to see, same way, kept it in the culture media of N15. Now I am taking the next two, N15, N14. ये अगर जो मैं आगे बढ़ाती हूँ तो मेरे को मिलता है एक और स्ट्रैंड यहाँ पे N15 N14. Yes or no? This goes on and on. Correct? That means it indicates that the process of replication is none other than it is semi-conservative. पहले उसने क्या लिया था? N14 लिया था, जो नॉर्मल है अपना नाइट्रोजन बेसिस में. N is normal 14. उसने आइसोटोपिक फॉर्म लिया. किसने? मेसल्स और स्टैन ने. वो आइसोटोपिक फॉर्म में उसने कल्चर किया नाइट्रोजन को, डीएनए को. मैंने कल्चर्ड इट, तो जो सराउंडिंग में था वही उसको मिला, खाना पीना. तो खाने पे उसको जो नाइट्रोजन लेना पड़ा तो वो N14 का लिया. तो जो नया स्ट्रैंड बना वो मेरा N14 का बना. That N14 वाला again I keep it in the culture media. Again I get the same way two daughter molecules, one with N14 and one with N15, which is indicating that 50% of the characters are carried forward in the next generation. So they prove that this particular process of replication is nothing but semi-conservative process. But they use here isotopic. पहला Hershey and Chase ने isotopic use किया था, that was of phosphorus as well as of sulfur, correct? One was 35 and one is 32, if you can recollect. यहाँ पे ये लोग ने use किया है नाइट्रोजन का, and this is only to prove that the process of replication is semi-conservative. Nothing more than that is over here. From one strand we are getting two daughter strands. Each of the daughter strand is having one parental strand and one newly synthesized strand. इसको अगर जो आपको करना है, the best way I can tell you, just pay attention over here. This is N14. This is N15. Sorry, N14 first. I am not writing the culture media and all that now. I am just doing the two strands. N14. Correct? The two strands got separated. Now, when it is kept in the culture media, it is forming another strand over here. That is of N15. Got it? Again, if I'm keeping this in the culture media, just see over here the fun now. Again, if I'm keeping this under the culture media, I am getting it from here. ये तो parental strand है, ये तो मेरा newly synthesized था already. Agreed? The same way over here. ये parental है, so it will remain as it is. इसको वापस में करेगी, तो ultimately what is happening if you go to see, you are getting N15 only towards the end, ना totally. Continuously अगर देखे जाओगे आगे जैसे बढ़ता है, तो it will be that only, because this is the entire length you can see. You could make out. इधर तो क्या छोटा-छोटा fragments था, so you are not getting the idea. But here you can get the full idea. मैंने N14 का लिया था DNA molecule. This was N14. It kept in the culture media. I got here one strand of N14 and one strand of N15. Again kept in the culture media. I got N15 ka 3 strands, N14 ka 1 strand. On the other side also the same way. Again I'm keeping it in the culture media. What will happen? Again if I'm keeping it, I'll get here N14 and here I will get N15. Agreed? It goes on. यह तो पूरा का पूरा N15 ही आएगा मेरे को. Here also the same will like N15. But here again I'll get one particular strand of N14 and the remaining 3 strands I will be getting of N15. Because new वाला N15 है. ये दोनों separate हुआ. Supposing ये separate होके इतना लंबा हो गया. तो इसका जो बनेगा वो ये N15 आएगा. और इसका बनेगा वो N15 ही रहेगा ना इधर, क्योंकि ये भी N15 है, सेमी कंजर्वेटिव. अभी ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज दिस इज एन एंटायर थिंग यू कैन मेक आउट वेरी क्लियरली. और छोटा फ्रैगमेंट्स में नहीं पता चलता है. आई हैव टेकन N14. मैंने लिया था कौन सा? N14 लिया था. मैंने कल्चर मीडिया में रखा, I got green as N15, pink as N14. N14 धीरे धीरे कल्चर मीडिया आपने N15 रखा है तो उसके हिसाब से वो ढांचे में डाल दिया आपने आपको, तो आपको सब जो भी मिले वो नेक्स्ट वाले N15 ही मिलने लगे, N14 गायब होने लगा टोटली. So they came to the conclusion that the process of replication is semi-conservative. क्योंकि 50% of the characters were newly synthesized and 50 were old. Agreed? Everyone. Michelson and Stahl experiment was there for proving this. N14 and N15 they had taken it, and this they did it on the bacteria named as E. coli. आपने और मुझ में नहीं किया था, वो लोग ने बैक्टीरिया पे किया, E. coli, named as E. coli, Escherichia coli, which are called it as. Any problem till here, my dear friends?
No, ma'am.
No? Can we proceed for the structure of RNA?
Yes, ma'am.
Structure of RNA. RNA is single stranded. ये भी हम लोग ने लास्ट ईयर किया था, लेकिन ये साल अपने को लगेगा इसके लिए कर रही हूँ, अभी नहीं चाहिए अपने को. 12th में इसका स्ट्रक्चर नहीं आएगा. हाँ है 12th में है स्ट्रक्चर है, सॉरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है. It is single stranded and it is a polynucleotide chain. It is present in the nucleus and cytoplasm. It may or may not be genetic material. Next, being a polynucleotide chain, it shows the presence of being a polynucleotide chain, it shows the presence of phosphate, sugar. Sugar over here, please be careful, is C5H10O5. DNA में O4 था, इसमें O5 आ गया. And any one of the nitrogen bases. Either it could be adenine, or it could be guanine, or it could be cytosine, but the thymine is replaced by uracil. Correct? Now, being single stranded, the base pairing may not be there. If at all it is there, then adenine is always pairing with guanine or guanine with adenine. Am I right? Am I right?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Then what it should be? Adenine pairing with
Thymine.
thymine, but thymine की जगह पे uracil है. So it will be adenine pairing with
Uracil.
Okay, very good. You are paying attention today. Correct? Or uracil pairing with adenine and guanine pairing with cytosine or cytosine pairing with guanine by means of 3-week hydrogen, if at all it is there. Now this RNA, अगर जो आपको खाली RNA का structure पूछा, write a short note on RNA for 2 marks. So diagram will come this way. यहाँ पे A, U, G, C. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Phosphate. 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 वो एक ही strand वाला बनाने के अपने को phosphate. Agreed? So we got it. The diagram. If at all they ask, they don't ask this diagram actually. Next we say RNA is further classified into 2 categories. One is genetic RNA and one is non-genetic RNA. Genetic RNA is observed in phytophaginae, plant viruses. It is rod shaped. Correct? Plant viruses can also be called as phytophaginae. And the example for that is tobacco mosaic virus, TMV. Agreed? Next, non-genetic RNA is of 3 different types. one is mRNA, one is rRNA, and the one is tRNA. ये हम लोग ने तीनों लास्ट ईयर किया था हम लोग ने, mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. Correct? Now we have to see the role of these three. mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. mRNA is also called as template RNA. It is also called as template RNA. Why? Because it is transcribed form of DNA. इसका दूसरा नाम नहीं है. Whereas transfer RNA is also called as soluble RNA because it is soluble in 20% NaCl solution. It is soluble in 20% NaCl solution. Next, mRNA is linear. Sorry, 3 to 5% of total cellular RNA. I had explained you all, एक सेल में 20% RNA है, वो 20% का 3 to 5% is this mRNA. It constitutes nearly 80% of the total cellular RNA, and it constitutes nearly 15 to 20% of the total cellular RNA. Next, it is single-stranded. And linear. It is single-stranded, but coiled upon itself. It is having two different shapes. One is hairpin shape and the other one is clover leaf model. Agreed? Let's revise this because then very shortly we say to stop it. Structure of RNA molecule. It is single-stranded. It is polynucleotide chain. It is present in the nucleus as well as the cytoplasm. It is genetic material. It may or may not be genetic material, and each strand is made up of phosphate, sugar, and nitrogen base. The nitrogen bases are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine replaced by uracil. If at all it is coiled upon itself, then it may show base pairing. The base pairing is always A with U or U with A, vice versa. G with C or C with G, vice versa. RNA is classified into two categories, genetic RNA and non-genetic RNA. Genetic RNA is observed in phytophaginae, that is plant viruses. It is always rod shaped. And it is observed in TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. That is the example of it, tobacco mosaic virus. Whereas non-genetic RNA is of three types, mRNA, rRNA, and tRNA. mRNA, rRNA, and tRNA, we have to write the characters. mRNA is also called as template RNA. Give reason. mRNA is also called as template RNA because it is transcribed form of DNA. There is no other such name for rRNA. Whereas tRNA is also called as soluble RNA. Why? Because it is soluble in 20% NaCl solution. As we proceed with this particular unit for protein synthesis and all that, इसके नाम आएंगे दूसरे वाले भी, और भी दूसरे आएंगे. That time we will come across those names. Right now, as of right now, no. Next, messenger RNA constitutes nearly 3 to 5% of the total cellular RNA. Ribosomal RNA constitutes nearly 80% of the total cellular RNA. Whereas transfer RNA is 15 to 20% of the total cellular RNA. Messenger RNA is always single-stranded and linear. Ribosomal RNA is single-stranded but coiled upon itself. Thereby, it will show coiled and uncoiled region. Thereby, it shows coiled, uncoiled region. paired and unpaired nitrogen bases. Whereas the transfer RNA is having two different shapes. One is hairpin shape and the other one is clover leaf model. These are the two different shapes of transfer RNA. One is hairpin shape and the other one is clover leaf model. Can we proceed further, sir? Sanket, sir?
Ma'am, do you want to take it further
Huh?
or can we stop now?
As you say, the students case up say what they want.
Ma'am, they've already started reducing. There's like 18 of them left now. I don't think they'll
Acha,
be
then-
able to keep up. So like I
Then
think
stop. Okay, okay. Mohammed is also telling me, ma'am, stop karo. ठीक है, no problem.
ठीक है.
Okay, chalo.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Oh, Mohammed has to go.
Ma'am notes.
हाँ जी.
Ma'am, can you send these?
Ma'am, please send the
pictures
notes
with you?
now.
Okay, I'll send it across. I'll
Yeah, so
send
I'll
it
just
across.
send
Right?
it to them.
Yeah, I'll just send it across.
Ma'am.
हाँ.